This is Hard Knocks with Hard Rock. Wolf and Luke on last night's episode of Hard Knocks, in season with the Arizona Cardinals.
That's the only way to cover Hard Knocks on this show is with some hard rock, huh? Look, okay, this was must-see viewing in my house last night. I think it was for a lot of Cardinals fans, but maybe you didn't get to watch it. Maybe you don't have HBO, whatever. This is how we're going to catch you up on it every Thursday. And there's obviously no spoiler alerts because you already know that the Cardinals lost to the Seahawks. But it did not disappoint episode 1 last night, Wolf. It showed us a lot behind the scenes. And when you cover the team as closely as I do, and you cover it even more closely than I do, it's tough to find stuff we don't know, and they showed us some stuff last night.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I need to create a disclaimer, okay? Because anyone that has listened to me, you know the way I feel about this. The assault, it is on the locker room to have cameras and live mics inside that locker room, inside that facility building. You know how I feel about this. As a player, I would have absolutely hated it. Yet at the same time, as I continue in that philosophy and believe that philosophy, I will tell you, as somebody watching it, this is kind of cool, man.
It was good.
It was kind of cool. It's done at such a high level of production, quality production, that it's hard not to appreciate it.
All right, we got a few different categories. We're going to break it down for you, so let's start.
Standout sound.
Standout sound for me, Wolf. There was quite a few actually sound bites from that show, but the one that wins out for me is Vance Joseph just losing his mind on that bootleg to Noah Fant. As we all were watching it, okay, this guy's wide open. Here's a 51-yard play that's pretty much going to end the game for the Cardinals. Here's Vance.
First down in the Seattle 15. Play action. He boots to the right.
The boot. There's the boot. We talked about the boot. Get him down. Oh, my God. We talked about the boot.
Just ignored any type of bootleg. You can't do it in that situation. A great call by the Seahawks.
Vance calling it out as it happens. And honestly, good to hear, I guess, that they did talk about it ahead of time. It just didn't help.
Yeah, honestly, that is what the bootleg is all about. That's what running play action and using play action is all about. Not just being in the pocket, but also the bootleg or the waggle. The waggle is to the weak side of the formation. It's a bootleg nonetheless. You got to use this stuff because what you're banking on, somebody's not going to be on top of their assignment.
Somebody
because somebody is going to actually bite on the fake.
Somebody doesn't want Kenneth Walker to run all over them again.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And because of that, it works. That's the power of play action, and bootlegs and waggles are play action.
This was your standout sound from last night. Kyler Murray talking about Buddha.
If I had to go to war with one dude on this team, it would be Buddha. And I think everybody in this locker room, everybody in this building understands why. Gives everything for his teammates, loves his teammates. Yeah, he's a dog. That's the definition of Buddha.
Man, Buddha, there's no doubt about it. Buddha is the kind of person you want to model your culture in that locker room around. And I love the fact that Kyler Murray sees that. And if you see it, man, you respect it. It makes you, it forces you to respect it. And if you respect it, Basinonians, guess what you'll do? You'll model it. You'll do it yourself.
One piece of bonus standout sound for this week, just because I think we were all thinking this as the game ended. This is Kyler Murray walking off the field.
How many pre-snap penalties we have?
Yeah, that was the first 3 hours of our show on Monday. How many pre-snap penalties did we have is what he said right there.
Yeah.
That's still on the field walking off. I don't even know who he was asking.
So that was a big piece of sound for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, the Vance one stole it for me, but yeah, there was another good Kyler bite. We'll get to that in just a second.
Okay.
Hard truth.
All right, hard truth, Wolf. This is what we learned. Something each of us learned from the show last night because of the incredible access that HBO has when they do this show. And I think for me, this was pretty clear. This was the easy winner. Everybody was talking about Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins getting into it on the sidelines on Sunday in that Seahawks game. The cameras caught it. You and I were both, I think, pretty consistent on Monday. Not a big deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
correct.
Teammates yell at each other. I would say at any level of sports.
It happens.
But still, it was cool to hear what was actually said. This is Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins in that argument they were having on the sideline that everybody saw.
Warren, what you looking at, bro? What you see? Bro, you don't like that? You don't like the scene? Man, you don't like the scene on the 50? Come on, bro. That wide open. Hey, offense, let's go. Let's go. Offense, let's go. Offense, let's go. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win. Calm the down. Listen, same deal. Nothing they're doing, right?
Cliff interrupted, and they just went right back at it like two brothers.
Yeah, there you go, right there. And, that's one of the things that I think is really, really cool about DeAndre Hopkins. He will walk up to his teammates from time to time and challenge them and want some hard answers. You want to talk about hard truth? You want some answers. Hey, man, what you seeing? What's going on? Yeah, I love the accountability DeAndre Hopkins brings to the field. He holds himself accountable, number one, and then he'll walk up on anybody, and I do mean anybody, and hold them accountable.
Good,
I'm with you, Hop.
Good edit by HBO on that one, too, because before that, they showed DeAndre Hopkins just running free down the field like he was wide open. Here's what you learned, Wolf. This is Cliff and Sean Jefferson talking about DeAndre Hopkins.
He's ridiculous.
I said, man, I told you, if your ass out here, just your presence alone.
No doubt, man.
Like the atmosphere
No doubt.
change the
It's literally, they're going to look back at the season, and they're going to have before Hop and after Hop. And it's going to be crazy to look at. And he needs to take pride in that. Like,
I coach. I think he's just been good for so long. He
yes,
don't even know.
he doesn't realize.
I think he's just ignorant to the fact how
how impactful he is. Yeah.
Boy, it sounds like a football field right there, doesn't it?
That was just practice.
Beep, beep. It does. It sounds like a football field, but right there, man, the importance just in practice of DeAndre Hopkins. And, his impact is even more than what I suspected. And I thought he was going to have a huge impact on this team, not only in a tangible way on the field, but also the intangibles. I just don't know if I really knew how much of an impact he was going to have.
We'll get into this later on in the show. I was a little surprised how much that suspension impacted him. Yeah, and we'll talk about that later.
Show Stealer.
It's because now, Wolf, it is time for Who Stole the Show last night. And I would say, look, we got to see a little bit of a different side of Kyler Murray, which is what I want out of this show. DeAndre Hopkins was very prominently featured. We don't get to hear a lot from him either. But to me, it was definitely Budda Baker. And that shouldn't be a shock. And unfortunately, he's not going to be playing for the next few weeks, so I don't know how much is going to be on the show. Yeah, Budda was one of the main guys they followed around. This is Bill Davis talking to his team about Budda.
Man, I want to challenge you guys. Somebody play harder than Budda in a game. Watch where this comes from here. Try to play harder than him. What kind of defense would we have?
The best in the league. If everybody played harder than Budda Baker.
Yeah, it was still Budda Baker. I'm with you on this one. He stole the show.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. This was Budda. And that Bill Davis cut there, I want to get into that a little bit deeper when we have the opportunity.
What's great about Hard Knocks, too, is somebody different will steal the show next week, almost certainly. And then our final category, Wolf, and this may be the most important.
The Wolf Count.
Oh,
Wolf,
oh no. Come
we heard
on,
you
man.
10 times in the show last night.
First of all, I know nothing about this, Space and
I know.
Onions. I need you to know that.
You were heard 10 times, including in the first 20 seconds of the show. I texted Maloney. I was like, the guy that we had to remind, hey, you got to get into this, was the second voice we heard. We heard Dave Pasch first, and we heard Wolf second.
You know, it's funny because I thought Dave Pasch was actually narrating the whole thing.
Yeah, Dave Pasch and Liev Schreiber.
Pasch, we got to get Il Bajato on to talk to him about his performance.
He's too busy. He's narrating next week's cuts already. All right, that was Hard Knocks with Hard Rock. We're going to do that every Thursday.